Hey, what's going on, YouTube family? I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like I feel very calm, very relaxed. You know what I'm saying? I just got out the shower, so I'm about to, start editing. Matter of fact, this video. That way I can go ahead and upload it for today. But I had a question for you, right? Like as I was just in the shower and as I was preparing for everything that I was doing, and a question came to my mind, and it's like, have you ever caught yourself just staring out into the distance? Just staring out into the distance, no matter where you at. You could be driving, right? And you mess around and realize that you done made it to your destination, but you wasn't even focused on that. You were seeing your future, right? You driving, seeing your future. You driving, seeing how your life is going to be, not how it is currently. You driving and unintentionally, seeing the things that the things you're gonna be doing, the people's lives you're gonna be touching, and the car that you're gonna be driving then, even though you might be driving your current car, or the house that you're gonna be staying in then, even though you might be living wherever you live at now, if you living anywhere, right? But just seeing your vision, seeing your future so tangibly, right? So direct, so present, so real, so raw. And for me anyway, like my question for you is, what do you see when you be doing that, right? Like how big is it? And I ask that because Helen Keller, I know we all, have at least heard of Helen Keller before. That's the, young woman who was, blind, who was mute, who was deaf, and no matter what, still became a world leader, which is incredible. Still became a world leader. And it was on the biggest of stages, the biggest of stages, and received the greatest awards and accolades, right? But again, she was blind, she was mute, she was deaf, and she was asked a question, right? The irony, and the question she was asked was, what's worse than being blind? And her response was, having eyes but no vision. Her response was, the worst thing for me is to have been born with eyes, but to not have vision. Because although Helen Keller was blind, obviously, her life's work speaks for itself. The vision that she had was out of this world. And I really wanted to sit on that because I think you get to a point to where once you have that vision, and once you can see where you're supposed to be, where you're going to be, it's a whole paradigm shift. It's a whole shift that takes place to where at that point in time, like at least for me anyway, I'm not convinced with trying to convince anybody, right? Like I'm not trying to convince anybody of my vision. I'm not trying to get people to buy into my vision. No, I now have my vision. I'm locked in on my vision. Like I see it. I can touch it. I can feel it. I can taste it. Like I'm walking in it. And at that point, I only am concerned about individuals who are able to assist me in getting where I need to go. And with my vision, I'm able to assist them in getting where they need to go. That's the only thing I'm focused on at that point in time. There is no more distractions. And I'm saying that because here I am right now on, what's today's date? Here I am right now on January 27th. And in less than 48 hours, I will be interviewing the biggest African-American CEO of McDonald's franchises, in the world. And just to know that when I was 13, my first job ever was McDonald's. And to know that from that first job, entrepreneurship was always what I was going towards. And since that first job, I've gotten opportunities to be an air traffic controller. I was the first individual. My godfather allowed me to take that test, or put me in position to be able to take that test. And they were hiring over 10,000 individuals. And out of 10,000, I was one of the very few African Americans who got the position. And I turned that position down. And that was at like the age of 21 or 22. And it's because, again, my vision, like there's nothing wrong for individuals who want to work jobs. But my vision was, my impact on this earth is greater than the job that I'm working at, or that I would be working at. Though it would be good money, though I would have great security, though it would be a government job, though in a matter of 2 years I could be 22, 23, 24, making over $100-some thousand a year, that monetary is good, but in terms of my vision, you dig what I'm saying? My vision was like that spirit of discernment, that conviction wouldn't allow me to do so, because I understand that I'm here for so much more. Even when the season don't feel like it, even when I'm struggling. And I'm saying that because to know all the opportunities that I quote unquote missed out on, or turned down, or rejected, and to have started working at McDonald's as my first job, and to be able to sit at the table at 33 years old with one of the biggest African American franchise owners of McDonald's, period, and have a conversation and talk about vision, talk about legacy, talk about family. Like, that's, for me, that just let me know now, like, yeah, you're on the right track, John Trey. You know, like, you're on the right track. And I say that because, man, listen, in terms of your vision, if you say you believe, then if you're not preparing for what you've already seen, you can't convince me that you believe in your vision that God has given you. For example, if you know for a fact that you're supposed to be starting that salon, or that you're gonna have that salon, and that you're gonna be, doing hair, for example, right, ladies? Then if you're not preparing right now, even when you don't even know how to start a salon, you don't even know how to start the process of getting an LLC, you don't even know, but you know how to do hair, but you don't even know how to start everything else. But if you're not getting in position to be who you see yourself to be, then I don't believe that you truly believe that that's what you're called to do. Fellas, if you say you're supposed to be opening up that shop, or you say you're supposed to be, speaking in front of thousands and thousands of people, but you're not preparing right now for that future road that you see, then you can't convince me that you really believe in that. Because the ultimate form of faith is preparing even in seasons when you can't see it, when it's not even here yet, when your vision is not even here yet, when your future is not even here yet. Is being able to stay prepared and act as if it is in this current moment. And I'm saying that because the only thing that I've been doing over these last 10 years is moving and acting and preparing for these particular moments that God is allowing me to be able to have right now. Right now. I've been on this. That's why I'm able to be able to spit everything that comes to my head. That's why I'm able to learn how I learn, taking information, how I take in information, be able to speak and have conversations, how I'm able to speak and have conversations, do these things in one take, because I've been learning and I've been perfecting my craft for forever. And so now to be able to sit at the table, and this is just one of many things that's coming my way in 2025. And God, I'm thankful. Like I told you, I just want to be a good manager of my resources. That's all I want in 2025, is to be a good manager of my resources. And so to be able to see that because of vision, and because of me realizing and me coming up and making my mind up and deciding to ensure that it's family business, and that's it. Family business is all I'm focusing on. All of my skill sets, all of my crafts, all of my value is I'm dumping and employing all of that into family businesses. And when I came up with that, and when I made my decision on that, and I told my moms that, and I let her know that I know that you've been doing this real estate game for forever. You're the first entrepreneur I've ever met. Meaning my mom's the first entrepreneur I've ever met. And for her to be able to stretch my brain at such a young age, to where when she's selling a home, she let me know, hey man, if you want money, you better figure out how you want to get it, because opportunity is everywhere. Problems are everywhere. Figure out a solution. And so when she's selling a home, I'm asking her, hey man, what's the numbers on the signs? All them numbers is the individuals who are or correction, when she's looking for somebody at home. And I'm asking her, like, what's those names and numbers on these signs in front of these houses? And she's telling me, nah, that's the agent who's selling the home. And I'm looking at how they supposed to be selling their home, and how we supposed to be able to get this home off if the grass and stuff ain't cut. I mean, that's a good question. You might want to figure that out. And then I started calling them. And I started asking them, hey man, no, my name is Dez at the time. I told y'all, everybody who know I rebirthed, and I'm John Trey. But at that time, I was Lil Dez, and I'm calling them, I'm asking them, and I'm asking them, I love to cut your yard. Whether it's for 25, whether it's for 30, whether it's for $35, I love to cut your yard. And for me to get one gig, but then they had 5, 6, or 7 other properties, and I started doing that. Me and my cousin created a whole business out of it. I started the business, I created it, I started getting the clientele, and then I make sure that I hire my cousin on. My cousin will start helping me. My pops allowed us to use his truck. He'll drive. We'll make sure we get out. We'll put everything in. Obviously, he had the equipment, my pops, so I had to make sure that I cut him his cut to be able to use his equipment, as well as to make sure we can continue putting gas in it. I give my cousin a cut for helping me with that. And then, we keep running that thing up. And I was making money at a young age. At a young age. I'm talking 11, 12, 13, 14 at a young age. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm saying that because I had to remind myself and I had to go back to the basics and realize, man, when you focus on family business, you good. And so for me, I had to get back to that this year, or really at the end of last year. And I had a conversation with my mom, and I had to apologize to her, because when we look out into every other culture, every other community, whether it's the Hispanic community, the Jewish community, the white community, whatever it is, the Asian, the Indians, what they do is there's an individual who starts a business. And from that mom or that grandma or that grandfather or that father that starts that business, the whole goal is that when the kids get of age, that you teach the kids the business. You teach them the business model. And then when the elders who started to get of age to where they don't want to no longer run it no more, they don't have to. Now they can allow their children to be able to run the business. And now they can be able to sit back, and now they can be able to be grandparents. Now they can start, taking care of and start building up and start molding and creating and instilling those principles and imputing those principles into the grandkids that's coming up, so that they can get to a point to where, boom, they take that over, right? And why is that important? Because a lot of us have family members, a lot of us have parents, a lot of us have grandparents that have put in 25 years, 30 years into whatever their trade is, whatever their career is. That's 35 years of building up a reputation. That's 35 years of building up good business for those who have. Right? That's 35 years of building up trust. You starting out in something, you're going to now have to start building up that trust, building up that reputation, building up that brand. But what if you simply just attach yourself to whatever your family was doing? You starting out with 35 years worth of trust, 35 years worth of business, 35 years worth of quality service, customer service, 35 years worth of a great reputation, right? And if we look at it from that aspect, it's like, why would we not do that? Why would we allow for our parents and our grandparents businesses, like their life's work that they wanted to do for us, to go to waste because we want to go out here and do whatever's popular, go out here and do whatever's cool, go out here and do whatever we feel like is going to be the best thing in this moment? Nah, bro, take your skills. I'm talking to y'all right now. Take your skills. Take your gifts. Take what God has given you. And while you're out there pursuing what you feel your calling is, see how you can be able to ensure that you're able to take those same gifts, those same skills, those God-given talents that He's given to you, and apply that to your family's businesses and grow them, evolve them, right? Because once I did that, everything started shifting. Me and my moms had that conversation, and after we had that conversation, opportunities started coming from everywhere. I told her I'm gonna make sure I do everything I can to ensure that this business that you've been working on for the last 20 something plus years, yeah, we're gonna ensure that that's not in vain. These connections you made, the homes that you built, the names that you brought up with you, like the man, look, this not gonna be in vain. And when we did that, she ended up having a client, and one of her clients ended up being the son of or the daughter of the actual owner of these McDonald's franchises, over 20 something locations, 15, 20 something locations. And now we're about to sit down and have a conversation with him. Why? Because they love the fact that there's individuals who understand the necessity, understand the need for ensuring that we continue our legacies family-wise. Because what do you think he did? He built up 15 or 20 different McDonald's franchises, and now he has his kids in position to be able to run them, to run that as well as the organizations. And so for him to be able to sit down with another young individual who has a mother who has been doing the same thing and been creating and been focused on building the same thing, and he can see that there's young individuals who genuinely want to learn how to be able to ensure that we can be able to save this legacy, grow this legacy, expand this legacy. Of course he'll want to have that conversation, and I'm honored to be able to have that conversation because, like I said, man, just at the age of 13, I was working at a McDonald's. And all praise to the Most High, I'm about to have a conversation with the CEO of McDonald's. And we discussing legacy. everything that I've intentionally not worked a job for since 2013. All the struggles, all the sacrifices, all the times I went without because I understood at the end of the day that my purpose is greater than my pain. And my vision of what God told me that I'm going to do is greater than whatever distractions may come along, no matter how good it might be in that moment. No matter how lucrative it might look in that moment. No matter how much I might need it in that moment, Dad, stay focused. God gave you a vision. Do you trust your vision? Well, preparing your season, preparing your off season. If you truly trust that vision that He gave you, preparing your off season. If you truly believe, if you truly have faith, preparing your off season. So what I'm telling y'all is that if y'all truly have faith, if y'all truly have vision, it will be horrible for you to have eyes and lack vision. Right? It will be horrible for you to. If you truly have a vision, if you truly know what you're called to do, if you truly see what your life looks like and what you're supposed to be doing, and you realize that you're not doing that now, what you're supposed to be driving in, if you're not driving in that now, where you're supposed to be living in, if you're not living in it now, the lives you're supposed to be impacting, if you're not impacting them now, if you truly believe in it, and you truly got faith in it, and you truly stand on that, then you have to understand that whatever you're going through right now, that should be your breakthrough of you knowing that this has to be temporary. Because this don't look like what I see. This car I'm driving in don't look like what I see. This house that I'm staying in don't look like what I see for myself. What I'm doing currently is not what I see that God told me I'm going to be doing. That for you should let you know right there that, okay, good. Thank you. Thank you. That means that this right here is not permanent. This right here is temporary. So let me continue acting. Let me continue moving. Let me continue preparing for me to walk into my purpose. That's it. And I didn't want to take up too much time today. I just wanted to come on here and just give you my thoughts for a second because again, man, 48 hours. I go from working at a McDonald's to talking to the CEO of McDonald's. And it's all because of vision. And what Helen Keller said is that she don't regret nothing in her life because she would have rather have been born how she was born, meaning deaf, blind, mute, than have been born with eyes and lack vision. I feel it. I feel it.